Today's story is how I blew up a barbecue and burnt my face. Subscribe if you don't subscribe. Hit the notification bell to get notifications. And here's the story.
Come on, let's get pumped.
So barbecue. We're having a little bit of a few burgers on the old barbecue, and I've had some incidences before. Not as bad as this particular one.
Oh, heck, life's too short for fire safety.
But, you got to be careful with the propane and the natural gas. We had a natural gas stove when we first got it, when my kids were younger. And they had made themselves some, I don't know, grilled cheese sandwiches or something. And the flame went out because it's an auto. And my son just, it's off. And so they were sitting there eating sandwiches and falling asleep on the couch because of the gas poisoning. So I came home. This is one day. This is years ago. I came home. I opened the door and there's whoosh. I got this it smells like gas in here, like really bad. So I'm panicking. I think we hit some kind of gas line or something. And I'm like, "You guys smell that?" And they're just kind of laying, both of them just laying on the couch, just like, "Huh? I don't know, really."
Drugs.
And I'm like, this is not. So I keep checking things around, and then I look over at the stove and I see that it's on. It's just totally, gas is pouring into the. So I shut it off, and then I explained to them what happened, and how the flame went out. The natural gas is still on, so don't touch any lights. Don't turn on any lights, because that's a spark, and boom. That's basically what I told him. I said, those movies where Born Identity sticks the thing in the toaster and hits the gas line? That can happen right now. So we need to open the windows and open the doors and just fan this out. Also, you would have died if you'd stayed with the gas building up inside. So I don't know, when they get mad at me about stuff now and get me attitude, I do go back to that sometimes, like, oh yeah, well, you would be dead right now if it wasn't for me. So
You're bringing this up now?
anyway, so I've had incidences before is what I'm trying to tell you. Our barbecue, back to our barbecue. This is me. This is all me. This is all my fault. I'm an idiot. That's going to be the moral of this story. We have an older barbecue. It's kind of getting beat up and corroding and stuff. I actually had a lady reach out to me when I posted the story and said, "Hey, I can help you get a new barbecue or help you get parts." And I was like, well, I've also been out of work for 6 months, so can't really.
If you want to wallow in self-pity and do nothing, then you're going to watch the same thing, you understand?
I can barely afford the propane. That's what I really was saying. Look, unless you got a sale on propane, there's nothing that I can buy from your store. Anyway, so what happened was I went outside to barbecue some burgers. I turned it on, and I got distracted by my neighbors. My neighbors were just across the way, in their yard, and so I was talking to them from my balcony to their balcony. And they have Scottish accents, so I get kind of lost in it sometimes. "Oh, yeah, we're having a great time here," and it's like, "Oh, are you really? Oh, I'm not making fun. It's just it's what happens to me when I hear an accent." That was the worst one I think I've ever done.
He'll be crying himself to sleep tonight on his huge pillow.
So I turned it on, and then I realized, I need to get the lighter because the automatic thing doesn't work anymore. So I ran into the house. I didn't run in. Had I run in, it might have been better. I walked in slowly, too slowly, and I grabbed the lighter. I went back in, and then I had just said a couple things to them, and then I started it, and I hadn't thought that I'd been letting it run for too long, but I did let it run for too long, for sure.
I'll just say something sarcastic.
Because I lit this thing, and all of a sudden, I just remember hitting throwing my head backwards, like, whoa. And I thought I caught my finger because I was doing this, I was lighting it, and then, so I was like, ah. And my whole hand was, this used to have twice as much hair on it, by the way. It's literally, it was just black. And so I scraped a bit of it off, and then I don't have hair on here anymore. It's completely gone.
No, we don't gnaw on our kitty. Leave Minnie Mr. Bigglesworth alone. Just love him, stroke him.
So that's free. Some people pay a lot of money for that.
No, they don't.
So I thought, oh, okay, wow, that was, and the neighbors noticed too, and I was like, oh, no, I'm okay. Yeah, I let that go too long, and a couple of jokes, and all right then, good talking to you. I didn't do it like that, because that would have been insulting.
I give homage to Scotland.
But my hand hurt a bit, burnt it a little bit. I was like, okay, it is what it is. Finished cooking the burgers. I went in. It was when I went into the bathroom that I saw, and I'll put a picture up, and I posted it so people could see. My hair used to be a lot longer on the top, but it just singed it. It was just like, and a little bit of my eyebrow. I wasn't worried about my eyebrows getting burnt because honestly, that'll grow back in 3 hours. Like it can be completely gone. Oh, I burnt my. Okay, they're back. I'm fighting back the eyebrow hair on an hourly basis. So I wasn't concerned about that, but I was concerned because I did fry a bunch. It got all sizzly and it looked, I had little frosted tips, and that's slowly been falling out. You can tell, like my hairline is actually, like it looks pretty good now. It looks like I've kind of weathered the storm, but my hairline was a little bit further down. Like I'll put a picture of that up too if I can get a good enough picture but it just, I was already starting to recede a little bit, but this kind of sped up the process in some of that. So I hope some of that grows back, but I have a feeling that some of it's just not going to grow back. So yeah, I burnt my face. I burned it real bad. When I shower now, I always smell burnt hair. Always. This is a couple days ago now, and I'm still smelling burnt hair. And you know what I think it might be? I think it might be the hair inside my nose, which is honestly the best result of this whole thing. If I blew that hair up, oh, that's a gift. So that stuff is a lot of work. But you know the funny thing? So here's what I learned from this. A couple things I learned from this. I put it up on social media, and I noticed there's a pattern of people that respond on, and some of you guys are the ones that responded. So, but which category do you fall in? So here, when I post something like that, I always get one of probably 4 things. Number 1, advice. There's always people giving me advice. Essential oils. Put some coconut oil. Make sure you go grab a fresh pineapple and smash it on your forehead.
That's not a thing.
And so I'm not saying, I mean, this is probably real good practical advice, but I was just basically showing, hey, look what an idiot I am. Here's how you fix it. It's like having a whole bunch of husbands. Do you know what I mean, wives? Because they always want to fix stuff. It's like, just listen to me. I just want to be listened to. Can't you see I'm burnt and I'm hurting? And another thing that people do, they make fun of me. That's another category. Do you fall into that category? You know, like I was like, oh, look at my forehead. And they're like, I thought your hands would have protected that. Your big old gross hands, buddy. Which is also good stuff. And I might use that later. So kudos to you if you made some of those jokes.
He doesn't mean it.
Another one, some people just kind of make an ooh or an ouch or like or a smiley face. Like, that's not a smiley face.
That's no smile. That's a mask of pain.
I'll put that as miscellaneous. That's a category, kind of nebulous category that's sometimes just a but sometimes it's... The 4th category, they make it about themselves. Are you one of those guys? It's like, I just burned myself. I did that to myself. Okay, thanks. Thanks for making that about you. I do the same thing. I actually I do every one of those 4 categories, by the way, so I'm not judging.
And that makes you a hypocrite.
But I did notice it's a pattern. Those are the categories that I get. So I'm interested to see your comments from this video. See if it falls into one of those 4 categories. But yeah, so that's the story. It's not a great one. I might pad it now with something else. But I survived. My hair's not as long, but here's the key. Here's the key to it. If you want to do something like that and you want to talk about it, grow a big old zit on your nose to kind of distract. Did you see that? It just boom, And then people are like, what's wrong with his hair? I can't even see his hair. Did you singe your nose too? It looks red. No, that's a zit. Okay, that's a zit.
It's my nose. It keeps giving us away.
Thanks for tuning in. If you lasted this long. So, next week, I'm going to burn something else or do something else because that seems to be popular. And then I'll do a video about that. So, see you till then. That's what I was going to say. It might have burned my brain a little bit too. It got a little too hot in the old...
Yeah, I'm going to quit saying things when they crop up there in the old skull.
The old oven. I was going to say the Dutch oven because I'm Dutch. But I don't think that's in context. See you next time.